The answer is, imagine two guys. One is an animator, and the other is a broker in information. We talked about it this morning. And it's a funny thing, one's called Lion, and the other's called Bear. Would they make a company called Library? It's funny, don't you think? And the English word for library is, we always say, the library is reliable. But it's a library. They always lie. Lie down or make lies. It's strange, you know. Everywhere in the West it's a bibliotheek, and in English it's also a library. So they would make, if they would make it, it would be called a truthbury. Sounds much more reliable. But the question is not answered. Would they invent one? I don't know. It becomes on definitions and on redefining the definition. And to make a new way of how libraries are. Are these displays? No, they're not. They become, I'm showing Shell here. That's a big problem. What's the problem of Shell? You don't know what the problem of Shell is? What's the biggest problem of Shell? No oil. That's a big problem. You got a company, whoa, oil! And we know one thing, we run out of oil. We know it. Funny thing, something else comes up. But they have a big problem. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know. Okay, they find out, okay, right, we can go on for 50, maybe 70 years, maybe 80, but then they just put it, the problem further and further away. Life has a problem in the way itself. Look, something funny. Unique footage. This is the sound of people thinking of a library, redefining it. It was shot by a candid camera, by a journalist, on a conference in Brussels, on the 23rd of October 2009. It was a unique moment, because there was really created something. We paid a lot of money to get this material. They redefined this. They redefined things that were really up. They were working on a value chain. And the value chain of what a library can be in lives. And it's not about books. We've heard it a lot of times. It's not about books. It's about people. About the people getting there, about connecting those people with the things you have. The means, the metadata, the media, and the more users you get. It's very important. You see, all the big publishers, they do one thing. They want to know exactly the metadata of their users. That's the biggest advantage we got. We got gold in our hands and we don't use it. We say, okay, thank you, wait. That's the biggest gold you have. You know who's coming. You know what they're using. You know when they're using it. You know why they are using it. We don't. That's a vision for the future. If you do that right, if you connect those things, you're going to add value. You get the fat man 5 times. 5 times a fat man, that's about 500 kilos of pure gold in your library. Of course, users, they're there. And make it plug and play, make it a place to play, make it a fun place. Because we changed from story keeping to storytelling, and now it becomes a story connecting. That's the strongest sport. And it's not exclusive, no, it's inclusive. It's what Ian says, for a lot of people. The strongest part of a library is being on a local premises, knowing the people in the local community and getting them in. But they don't tell it. And X-inclusive means for everyone. But the trouble is, it means that you have to be flexible. That's something, whoa, flexible, whoa, that's flexible. Librarians are not that flexible. We've got to learn to be flexible. So this is not the librarian we need. We need more scholars. We need more people who are really getting up to it. We need more James Bonds of libraries. I can tell you, yeah, we're working on that. Librarians should be photo models, should be more up to the society. So if you have to choose to be somebody who's really good in books, I would choose somebody who's really good in football. Because it's about discussion, debate. And it needs to be created. And yes, partnerships, they are absolutely essential. We work with a technical university, we work with 1,000 different kinds of companies together. With Google, Ian, with Google, very much with Google, and they love it. Because they think the library is one of the most reliable partners in their way. We work with Aarhus, we work with the famous Zaha Hadid, and we don't do it for fun. And what we're trying to do, bring the outside in. That's the partnership. Bring the outside in. Some of the things we did is bring in a lot of archives being digitized, but nobody wants to go to those archives, nor their websites. One of the failures of Europeana is that it's not a normal life website. It's not that you think, oh, let's go to Europeana today. There's nothing to do. There's no added value. There's no fat man in it. But what would you do if you went to all those beautiful stuff in Europeana just on a multi-touch table in your library, connected to that archive, connected to the metadata, which is on the RFID card? That's bringing technology with an added value. That they get on, they put their card, and everything that's related to their person gets down there. So if we know that they like, or for example, old German stories, they get all those things about Germany around. That's it's not difficult. And people love it. It's the best way of working. It's a visual way of working. And we also get the inside out. Why keeping everything inside the building? Go to the mobile phones. Those are the things which are there. They are bridging gaps faster than we can imagine. And we don't do much to do that. Kids have it. On an early age of 8 in Holland, they all have a mobile phone today, from the brothers. And yes, there are issues to talk about. Copyright is one. And yes, there are things we have to think about. Google. We can be a Google Plus. It's not that difficult. We got an immense footprint. I told this sometime before. We're the biggest information company in the world. There's more money going on in the library than in Google. But if we use it only locally for ourselves, here's the president of IFLA. Is it not right? No, the former president of IFLA. And they always told me IFLA is a very poor branch kind of thing, isn't it? No, they say. They always say, no, you have to pay yourself, it's very poor. I can imagine it. Because if you really, really work on that much faster, we got in this time of international globalization thing, to the infinity and beyond, it's important to combine our forces much more than just this talk here. We really should do something. That's the call for action of Bob. We can't say, okay, we're just going to spend only this money. No, you need more. You need a vivid place, and you need to cooperate really strongly with everyone and make a claim, a real exciting claim. Starting here today, we've done it in Aarhus, we've done it in different places. Because the funny thing is, we were sitting here, but above us were the decision makers of tomorrow running, kids of about 10 to 15 years of age. They were running above us. And I was amazed about it, because if they would know what we were discussing about, we were discussing about their future for a part. But the future is in our hands. And I would say another thing, that I think that's the call for action. You should do things. You should do things now and of today. Be strong. A strong muscle. Be pragmatic. I will do something. Very much well. Because we need to be on the eyes of the ones who are deciding on it. Because nobody wants that we're going to close down. And I think, I have a firm belief that we can survive, but I also firmly, if we do things wrong, we will be closed down. Because we cost tremendous lot of money. The libraries cost tremendous lots of money. And if you have to make a decision in where you're going to invest, and if you are a prime minister and you think, library, boring, gone. We're not on the forefront of the foreheads of the decision makers. And the action is we should be there. We should be there with a strong, really lively marketing campaign. Movies like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation showed us from Latvia. Those are strong, appealing to our heart feeling of why libraries really do good. And we should be like Selfridges. It's Selfridges that claim is, I didn't find it, it's found me. Libraries should be proactive in finding people. Find people. You can. Use your digital ways, use your analog ways, use any way which you can to find those people, to be advocates for you. And look, wherever you can. Every lift right, because this is your decision maker. This is the one who's going to say if you will be there in the future, yes or no.